Hey, what is up guys? Burks96 here. So today's video is going to be the final review of 2025, and man oh man, what a year has it been for LEGO. What way to cap off the year than reviewing LEGO set 31168. That is the Medieval Horse Knight Castle. This set comes with 1,371 pieces and it retails for $129.99. In front of the box, you can see it does show the main build of the castle. With this being a 3-in-1, you can see the alternate builds right here on the side. This set is very popular. Obviously, castle being very popular right now, but one thing people are really loving is this guy right here, the Snake Knight. But you know, everyone else is actually really liking the Horse Knights. They're really customizable, especially with the what do you call it, D&D dragon that came out earlier this year. I believe it was earlier this year, last year. I honestly, I can't remember right now. As you can hear in my voice, I'm pretty sick, but yeah, these alternate builds look pretty cool. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's build this set and take a look. Alright guys, as you can see, my camera's pretty far back from my desk because this is a pretty tall build compared to a minifigure. I have them scaled out so you can see the size of this build. It's pretty cool. If you are a castle fan, I highly recommend this build. These brick build horses are pretty cool. I can't wait to take a look at the pieces that I have and see what I can build. This new Snake Faction Knight is really cool. The horses, what do you call them, the Medieval Horse Knights, they're pretty cool as well. I can't wait to modify these. The Knight is a really cool minifigure as well. The castle can be broken up into different sections. That's probably what I'm going to be doing throughout the video, just so I can show you guys everything a bit more. Obviously we'll take a look at the minifigures individually, but yeah, I'm really excited. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so we'll be taking a look at the minifigures first. Right off the bat, the three knights are similar as far as torso printing and leg printing, so I guess we'll take a look at the more decked out one, and I will show you guys the different color hooding on the next one. So as far as torso printing, I really do like this one. I am very excited to, use the new, what do you call them, the Dragon Paladin from the D&D minifig series. I can't wait to add legs and arm printing for some of these, maybe add both. Not to all of them, but to some, just so you can see some generals, or it can look like I have some type of generals or something like that. The shield printing on this one's pretty cool. We do have the same shape of the shield that we've been getting for many years, and I say that because we do have new shapes of shields that you'll see in a few minutes looking at the Snake faction. Turning it around, you can see that there's still the chainmail, which is pretty cool, and it still keeps that gold trimming on the armpit or like shoulder underarm area. One thing that I really find funny is that it kind of cuts off right where the little curve or the little line is for the minifigure, which is pretty funny. They do have all generic faces that we've seen many times in city figs, in all types of minifigures. One thing I do want to show for this minifigure in particular is the color of the hood. I really do like the color of the hood right here. It really does match pretty well with the metallic silver, which looks really cool. I mean, with the archer, with the arch, the what do you call it, the bow and arrow and everything. This is an archer, but with the bow and arrow, looks pretty cool in my opinion. Again, generic face for all of them. The next minifigure we're going to be taking a look at, it is the blacksmith. I'm pretty sure this torso has been in other medieval sets, whether it's been the medieval town square, whether it's been the Lion Knights or some other ideas, or just even city figs. I'm not quite too sure. One thing that I did notice is you can see on the chest right there, it looks very pale, almost sickly yellow. Lego still can't print yellow on white, which is it kind of sucks, unfortunately, but what can you do? You can only hope that it gets better. Turning it around, you can see the vest printing does have a buckle in the back, which is pretty cool. I do like the face on this one. It does match pretty well with the Farm Boy Luke hairpiece, and he does have gloves on for working on blacksmith. No printing, just generic blue legs. The next minifigure we're going to be taking a look at, it is the new knight, the new king. And I say new because look at that printing. I mean, man, oh man, is this printing really cool. I think I'm just gonna add arms on this one. That's what I was saying. Some are gonna get arms, some are just gonna get legs, some are probably gonna get both. But yeah, this minifigure looks really cool. Turning it around, you can see it does have the horseshoe printing right there, and then the little jewels or the little rhinestones, whatever you call them. But I really love the leg printing on this one. The buckles and the little, like, what do you even call it, right here at the bottom, the right stuff right about there. I don't even know what you would call all of that detailing. It's not focusing, but there we go. Yeah, it is really cool as far as printing goes for this one. Turning his face around, you can see he is very happy. I'll kind of move the camera there. He is very happy right about there. I know this is I think this is what the tax collector's face. I do like my king looking a lot more serious because he is gonna go into battle. And who is he gonna battle, you say? He is gonna battle this guy right here. And man, oh man, this minifigure is amazing. The the silver, the black, and the little bit of purple and some yellow on here. Man, oh man, this minifigure is simple, but it is so cool. Turning it around, you can see his head still has the same printing on the back. Again, very simple printing, but man, oh man, this looks so cool. I am going to customize the eyes. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give him a lot more evil eyes because he is a part of a snake faction. And as you can see, he has more of an elegant or more regal face, as you would say, because turning him around, he does have a scared expression. And I do not think a faction that has snakes on it would be scared of a lot of things, if not anything. And look at that shield printing right there, guys. That shield printing right there is amazing. We do have the new Zelda shield, which is pretty cool. I think this is a new the new, what do you call it, Zelda shield. Sorry, I'm getting my tongue is getting tied. But yeah, I really do like this new shield. One thing I don't like is that you are only limited to having it on the side. You can't really customize it any other way. Either it's going to be on the side or it's going to be in the front being used. But still, really cool shield piece in my opinion. As you can see right there, ignoring my fingerprints, this printing is really cool. I cannot wait to see what other type of snake factions we get, whether we get archers, whether obviously I know we're gonna get archers, but I can't wait to get these on Pick-a-Brick. But yeah, these are really cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the horses next, because those are actually, in my opinion, surprisingly one of the cool things about this set. Alrighty guys, so next we'll take a look at the horses. Just right off the back, they are the identical build but different color, obviously. One thing about these builds is that a lot of it is snot technique. So it's built upwards like this, and then one pretty cool technique on there, it's a 2x2 with the curve and a Technic pinhole right there. It does use the inverted slow piece, the 1x2 inverted slow piece right there, and you connect it with the 1x2 with one stud and a clip, and you pretty much just add the two like hinge bar pieces. You connect the superhero action pieces on cheese slopes, and you just make it stand. And look at that, it looks just like hooves. And the building techniques on these horses are really cool. That's just one thing that I wanted to show you guys. With these 3-in-1 builds, the techniques on them are honestly really cool, and they help, especially if you're wanting to get into mock building, or you're just wanting to get into just modifying some sets. you can learn a lot with these sets. But yeah, like I said, as you can see, they're pretty much all just stud knot on top, and then you pretty much adding the legs makes it right there, because you know, a minifigure can literally just slide off and on. There's no connection whatsoever, so it's pretty cool. They can just slide off or slide on. Kind of sucks that they can just slide off very easy, but I know an alternate build is part of like a joust, so maybe that's why they didn't want them to clip on and stay on so firmly, so they can be knocked out very easy. But as far as the build goes, let's go ahead and take a look at this beauty right here in pieces, sections I should say, not pieces but in sections. Alrighty guys, so the first part of the build we're going to take a look at is the front part. You do have two watchtowers. You have one of the corner towers up here with a little bit of like tavern like pattern, which is pretty cool. Blue roofing right up there. You do have one of the shields looking pretty cool, symbolizing that this knight, actually this house, belongs to the Horse Knight faction, which is pretty cool. The drawbridge is probably one of the more cooler play functions. Unfortunately, it does not work all the way. I'll show you guys. Pulling this lever up is supposed to release the drawbridge, but you kind of have to make it go down all the way yourself. As far as the function goes here, you literally just turn the wheel, and seeing the little teeth, the teeth on the gear catching to the Technic little rod connection pin. I'm not too good with Technic pieces, but yeah, as you can see the function right there. The building techniques on here I really do like. On the windows, it is using a 1x2 snot piece using the 1x2 G slopes, which is really cool. Fireworks are going off right now. It's not New Year's Day just yet, but we do have a couple more hours. As far as the build goes, you do see that there is a couple hinges right here, but you can also see right here it is connected to those hinges right there. As you can see, there's not much stuff inside of the corner building right there. Same thing goes for this side right here. It is have a hinge right there, but you can see the connection is right there, just with the little clip on a bar. Again, not much stuff inside of here. Looking inside, again, not much stuff inside, but this is not the all of the interior of the build. Let's actually go and take a look at the tavern or like the blacksmith shop. Alrighty, so this right here is the meat of the set. This is a big hefty, and it's actually pretty heavy, but man, do I love the building techniques of this. You do have, as you can see, sort of like the 1x2, the 1x4 panels right here representing like wood. You do have a little wooden door right here. You do have sort of like a canopy, the brick built wooden door right here, which is really cool, and it fits perfectly right there, which is again pretty cool. You do have these hinges right here, so you can connect the other part of the build. On the other side, again, you do have the hinges right here, but you can connect it with the clip piece right about there. One other building technique, I'm not quite too big of a fan of it, but you do, as you can see right here, has sort of like this what is it, 1x2 and then 1x3 in the middle piece, which is kind of makes everything you know, again, snot technique. Again, not the best technique in my opinion, but still really cool technique nonetheless. You do have sort of like the tavern or like the old, I'm not quite too sure what this I can't think of the pattern right now, but I really do love the black trimming like right there. Looks pretty cool. This is pretty much just you know, bricks, and then you have the triangle tile pieces right there. You do have a window right there, which is pretty cool. Again, you do have the building technique right here looking for wood, which I think is really cool. Up on top you have a pretty spacious watchtower. Unfortunately, you don't have any access to getting up there. I mean, you'll use your imagination. It kind of is unfortunate that you know, you don't have sort of like a ladder right here, or even if it was kind of open in the middle, I would have been okay if it was open sort of like what 4x4 right here, which would have been kind of cool with the ladder going down. But nonetheless, going down into this little room, you do have a torch, and then you do have sort of like a you know, like an inkwell with, you know, some paper so they can write letters. Going down, you do have the stable, sort of like a stable blacksmith type of stuff. You do have the, what do you call this right here, the iron weight. I'm not quite too sure what it's called right there, but you do have you know, a little pot for the blacksmith. And I say it's a stable because there's poop right there. I'm not quite too sure if the horses stand here, and then this is a little divider for like hay. Again, I'm not quite too sure what is this representing. And then you do have the blacksmith shops right about there. But my favorite part of the build is going to be these two floors right here. We'll go based the least exciting floor, but I really do like this bed build, which is really cool. Unfortunately, I can't take it off because I'm scared I'm gonna break it. But yeah, this bed is actually really cool. You do have studs right there to connect a minifigure. You have a small little what do you call it, small little fireplace right there. You do have a door to go inside, which is, I think, kind of interesting that they have this door, but then they have brick built doors all around everywhere else, but still kind of cool. Again, you do have these sort of like stairs up here. You do have access to here going up these stairs, and then you have a doorway right here. Again, unfortunately, you don't have an access to go onto the main watchtower, but still pretty cool nonetheless. Again, you don't have access to this little tower, but you can just imagine there's some type of stairs or ladder to go up here. The main room that I really love is the King's Corridor, or the King's Dining Room. I'm not quite too sure. You do have the throne right there with some curtains, which are looking pretty cool. You do have some banners, red and white, green and yellow, which is pretty cool. My favorite build is the chandelier, which I really like. You can, you know, you can move the chandelier, which again is really cool. You do have a feast going on right there. I don't have many figures laid out, but I think it's pretty cool. You do have the fire warming everybody up. You do have some candles on tables right there. But yeah, this is my favorite part of the whole set. I really do love the chandelier, the throne, the curtains right there, the little table. I think everything here ties in pretty nicely. But one thing I do actually want to show you guys is how you can actually display this set. There's obviously a couple different ways you can display it, but I found one very cute way of displaying it. Alright, so one quick way I did want to show you guys you can display it. I don't know why, but having it this small little castle to me looks really cool. Having it open as so, like, having it open like that, it brings me back to like the 2005, was it 2005, 2006, you know, or you know, late 2000s, early 2010s kingdom or castle era. It brings me back to those, you know, to those eras. But still pretty cool way of displaying a small little castle. And then you do have the big old tavern right here with the blacksmith, the, you know, the horse stable and everything as so. But yeah, you can display everything, you know, honestly, you can display everything however it is you want it. You can display it with obviously this stuff open all the way, and then let me see if this, there we go, just breaking everything. But yeah, you can honestly display this set however you want. You can just connect it to these studs right there, and then get your clip piece right about there. And then again, you can pretty much display this however you want once you get it clipped on like so. But yeah, this set is really cool. I would highly recommend getting this set. You do get amazing minifigures in the Snake Knight. You do get the other minifigures. You know, you get 3 regular horse knights. You get the king. You get the blacksmith minifigure. Again, in my opinion, if you are a Castle fan, I would highly recommend getting this set. If not for the pieces and the minifigures, I mean, just building the set, you are learning a lot of techniques for different stuff, so I highly recommend getting these sets. If not, again, if not for the minifigure and the pieces, for the minifigures, the pieces, and the building techniques, all on their own, it's a must-have. Again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate all of the support you guys have been giving me throughout the year. Happy New Year, and you know, God bless. Drop a like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.